Welcome to TWINN number 56. This week in Nerd News, where in 5 minutes or less, I want to share with you just some stories that we need to be paying attention to. My environment is a little bit different this week. I'm still recovering and regaining control of my voice, so I'm using my son's studio today. And our focus today is on advanced persistent threats, shortened to APTs. Such labels are applied due to the sticky nature of these attacks that lurk inside networks undetected, sometimes for months at a time, waiting for the attacker to issue commands. Now, APTs are not generally found on really small networks or individual devices, unless they're heavily targeted, because they often take the resources of a nation state to maintain and manage. However, that's not to say that techniques that are used by APTs don't translate to smaller attacks as well. And this week, Whispergate was analyzed as an APT that was targeting Ukraine government websites. And this Whispergate is actually a wiper malware, and it turns out that it was actually sitting inside the Ukraine system for months before the wiper was deployed. In the second story, in spite of wholehearted attempts to minimize the fallout, the Red Cross did fall victim to a massive cyber attack, and we might not have seen the worst of it yet. Here we see how hackers disrupt payroll for thousands of employers. Again, it's a supply chain attack. And in this case, the payroll company Kronos can have a wide-ranging effect on our world today in many different industries. And this VPN story tells us how it's taken down because the VPN service itself was used for criminal activity. This is the pain of having a retail VPN supplier be used by criminals. You never know when it's going to disappear. And VPN technology itself does play an important role in security and privacy, but whenever we see a story like this, it's just a reminder that running your own VPN is ultimately the best approach that you can take, where you own the entire path. And in this last story, we're discovering that mole rats are actually utilizing command and control operations inside of services like Dropbox and Google Drive. So they're effectively finding a way to hide in plain sight. It's not new, it's just new that a campaign of this size is using public cloud infrastructure. And so for this reason, once again, zero trust wins the day. There's simply no reason to have services like Google Drive and Dropbox accessible to systems that don't require it. And did you know that Cal Poly is launching a journal of threat intelligence and incident response that, quote, seeks to bridge the gap between industry and academia by providing a forum to share peer-reviewed, relevant, and academically rigorous research that will provide a much-needed scholarly source to support future research into the areas of cyber threat intelligence and incident response. We think so this will be good for users and organizations and clients all over the world when this kind of information is freely shared. See you again next week. Bye for now.